It's a wonderful springtime day, the sun is on the rise. The smell of mama's cooking makes me open up my eyes. The pride of being a country boy is something I won't hide. Today I'm hunting longbeards in the Ohio countryside. There's nothing like the smell of a fresh cut field of hay, or to hear a gobbler singing out at the starting of a day, or to hear a whippoorwill calling out when the sun is sinking low. There's no place like my country home in the hills of Ohio.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Wayne's Country Living Live. How's everybody doing? Hey Wendy, hey Suburban, hey Terry. Everybody doing all right tonight? So, I was doing some different things to my streaming software, so I'm hoping that it works tonight. Hey Heather. That's why I was trying different things, like the intro you guys saw and different things like that. So I'm hoping that it works. Everything's saying that it's healthy on my end. I just hope nobody starts buffering. I'm supposed to have the best internet, the best residential internet that you can get. I need it especially for my job, but it comes in handy here too. Suburban says, in a mood to listen to either you or bluegrass. Maybe country folk understand, but the rest won't. I love bluegrass. I was listening to some bluegrass gospel earlier today on the way home from work. So I love bluegrass gospel. I love bluegrass country music. I like the classic country music, not this country / pop music they have out now, but I like the classic country. You know, your Johnny Cash, your Merle, Conway Twitty, different things like that. That's what I like, even though technically they were before my time. I really, hey Lonely, I really do like it. I just like the old classic country music, you know. So Don Williams is one of my favorite. Lord, I Hope This Day Is Good is one of my favorite songs. I like turtles. I see you're back. I like turtles as well. I also like to eat turtles. Turtle soup is really good. I'm going to butcher this name, I think. Hey, Glenokia. So, I just decided earlier today that I was going to go live. No particular reason. Just thought I'd give this opportunity for you guys to ask me some questions, but I also wanted to show you some produce from my garden. This is just one of the tomatoes. I planted Better Boy tomatoes because they're easier to can. The garden is doing fantastic this year, and I am not sure. I'm not sure if I didn't do anything different, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on. We have had a lot of rain, so I don't know. But I take that back. I did do a few things different. I laid straw down in the garden instead of Hey Island Exotics. instead of going out there and hoeing it every, like twice a week or once a week or whatever. And that has worked out tremendous because when you have a full-time job and you're trying to raise a garden on the home place and plus doing other stuff, and you got to throw time for fishing in there. But that has helped really keep the weeds down. It's been a really good weed barrier. But also it's going to be good for when I till up the garden in the fall. It's going to be great to mix it in with the soil. So I'm hoping that works. But so far the garden has been doing really well. And this is just one of the tomatoes that I've gotten out of the garden. We've also got we've got a good trellis of beans. Got some squash, some zucchini. The cucumbers are growing. They're vining out real good and they're blooming, but I don't have any cucumbers yet. So far, I've been mooching off the grandparents, but they have more cucumbers than they can eat, so they hand them over, which I'm perfectly happy with. I just like to peel them and eat them. I don't make anything special out of them. I just like to eat them. Peel them, cut them in half, and put a little salt on them, and that's all I need. I love cucumbers. Let's see, my daughter is named after Merle Haggard's song Amanda. Oh, that's cool. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Let's see, I'm going to add a few wrenches here. Just a couple. I don't know if my normal moderators will be in or not, but it looks like we might need them. It's hot and humid in Nova Scotia. Been this way for far too long. You know, it's either blistering hot or it's pouring the rain. There's really no in between. Last weekend we had a huge line of storms, pretty bad storms. They uprooted trees all over the area. It knocked out power for a little bit, but not too long. It's almost like it would kick off and stay off for maybe 10 seconds and then pop back on. But this storm, when I checked the radar, went as far north as like Columbus towards Michigan, and then came all the way down to the Tennessee Valley. And it just ripped right across the area, just headed east. And I mean, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, man, everybody just got slammed. West Virginia. Some spots were worse than others, but it was still pretty bad. And the wind, it was pretty rough. It's not, I mean, I've been through worse, but it was probably up there in the top 10. Yes, squirrel does taste good. I love the taste of squirrel. Hot and humid in Oklahoma. Just call me Glenn. You got it, Glenn. I have a soft spot for that name because that was my grandpa's name. One of my heroes growing up. Taught me a lot in the short time that I knew him. He passed away when I was 10 years old, but he taught me a lot in that short time. And I learned a lot from Grandma too. And he spelled it the same way that you did, so that's pretty neat. And for you older folk whose grandparents are no longer around, I've found out that, you know, there's people that's always going to be older than me, and you can always learn something from those people. You don't have to go to your grandparents, but I learned a lot from my grandparents. Hey BBQ, they taught me a lot. Grandpa, you know, I was cutting grass on a riding mower when I was 8, 9 years old. Grandpa just taught me. He just put me on there and showed me how to do it. When we were working the garden, I would follow in his footsteps in the garden as he was tilling it up. I would learn how to plant. I learned a lot of that from Grandma. How to plant a garden, how to harvest a garden, how to stake the tomatoes. And, you know, people have all their different ways of doing things, but I still do things the way that Grandma taught me to do them. Because it worked for her, it works for me. And, you know, it's just tradition. And hopefully my kids will learn from me how to do it. So just carry on the tradition of that's how we plant a garden. And I think it's really important too, especially in this day and age, to plant your own food. At least to teach people how to plant their own food, how to grow your own food. BC Truck, how you doing? You know, I know it's not for everybody, but you should at least know how to do it, because one day you may have to. Wendy, it's funny, my tomatoes outgrew the stakes. So I've got them leaning over. I'm still not sure. I've kind of got them resting. You know, they grew up and started coming down, so I just moved it over and laid it down on the top of another stake, just so that the vines didn't snap. So I don't know. Hey, Alan. So I don't know. It's like I said, the garden's doing tremendous this year, and so all of my tomato plants outgrew the stakes. So next year I'm going to have to probably just get taller stakes, I guess. I don't know, but it was it's a good problem to have, I guess. Yeah, homegrown food, Glenn, is much better. I mean, much better. Now, you can go down to the local Walmart, which is literally 10 minutes down the road, and they have fresh produce that they say was grown locally. But when you look at it, it just, I don't know, you look at a tomato like this, and this isn't the best looking tomato in the world. But when you look at the collar of it, and then compare it to the collar of one that's in the store, this literally just came off the vine. So you can't really get much fresher than this. The collar is just more vibrant. And when you fill it, it just feels better. You go and you pick one up at the store, and I don't know, they feel mushy. They feel like they've been sitting there. Um, it's just, I don't know. These always taste better. BC, I thought I was going to have a problem with deer this year because there's every evening you can go out and count 10 or 12 does standing out in the field, out in the hayfield. But they've left my garden alone. I think part of the reason is my dog. Um, he is really close to the garden, but he can't get into the garden. And I think he kind of keeps them away. But if not, I found this stuff at Lowe's called liquid fence. It's mixed with coyote urine, and you just spray it around the perimeter of your garden. Shake it up real good, spray it around the perimeter. Now, it stinks to holy heaven, but it works. When I first planted a garden here, when I first moved to where I'm at right now, the deer just would not, they were relentless on my beans. My beans and my pepper plants. They were relentless. I got that stuff and sprayed it around, and I never had a problem again. I actually didn't even have to use the whole thing. Once they got used to knowing that there's possible coyotes over there, then they stayed away from it. But I have been noticing here lately that I've got some wild rabbits, and I haven't seen wild rabbits around this area for a long time. So people's asked me if I'm going to hunt them, and I say no. I want to get as many wild rabbits populated in this area as possible. Then I might start hunting them, but I want them to at least be able to multiply, and you know what, how rabbits are. Rabbits multiply like crazy, so it won't take too long. Uncle Buck, this looks like a place full of shady people. I don't know if it's safe for me here. Trust me, Uncle Buck, you'll fit in here just perfect. Fluffy food storage. Another thing about growing your own food is I know exactly what has been on this. I know what has been sprayed on it, what hasn't. Pesticides and different stuff like that. And, I know that because I grew this. I put it in the ground and I was there to pick it. I know that this is safe to eat. And, sure, some of my tomatoes I've had to throw out because bugs have gotten into them or what have you. But, you know, you growing your own food, you know what you're putting in your mouth. That's the same thing that goes with, hunting your own food, getting your own red meat from deer. You know, when you shoot that deer and it goes from field to freezer, you know what's in it. You know there's no extra chemicals or antibiotics or anything like that. And it just kind of puts your mind at ease that you know what you're eating and you know what your family's eating. Just a tiny bit of lead poisoning. Uncle Buck, there's no one better than you at doing that on YouTube, just so you know. Or at least nobody that I want to watch. I'm going to cut into this tomato. I've just been sitting here tossing it around in my hand. Now see, that is a good tomato. Nice and juicy and drippy. And the smell of it is like heaven. Put a little salt on it. and down the hatch. Mm. Man, there's nothing like that. Man, that's good. Man, that is fantastic. Look at that slice of tomato. How beautiful that is. I mean, this is literally right off the vine. Can't get much fresher than that. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for eating in front of you, but now I can't stop. That is just tremendous. You put that on a sandwich or a hamburger, you got yourself a ball game. I'm hoping that I have enough to can this year. They're ripening at different times early, and I'm hoping that I can get a good enough to take it over to Grandma's. She's going to help me can. You know, I can can, but she said she could help, so why say no? I mean, she's been doing it most of her life, and she's in her 80s now, so go and learn from the master, I say. And I'm hoping that I can do a video on it. I gotta have another one. Man. BC truck fella ain't much of a blacksmith, but he's incredibly handsome. I'll take your word for it. Man, can you get... I just can't get over that. Look at that. I mean, that's just... There's no other way to describe it but perfect. Just perfect. So, you guys got any questions for me? Not that I can answer them, but I'll give them a shot. I'm just here to shoot the bull. It's just random for me to go on live. And my tomato's almost done. Hey, Yankee. Terry, I don't have fire ants, but I do have carpenter ants. They're not so much into eating the crops, but they bring in like a lot of other flying insects to eat them. So, are you still selling propane and propane accessories? Yes, BC, I'm a lifer. That's probably what I'm going to do until I retire. I enjoy it, actually. I have a really great job. I get to see a lot of the area, a lot of the county, and be out and meet people, and it's different, you know. It's a different kind of career, but it works. And propane's not going anywhere. Yankee, they were delicious. I didn't actually mean, or I didn't plan to cut into them. Or I planned to cut into them, but I didn't plan to eat it. I couldn't resist. So I brought the salt in just in case. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, BC. I used to live in Columbus many moons ago. I actually used to live in Florida, too. And then would come in or get in fire ant pits and or mounds and get ate up with them. As a kid, that's horrible. Can't tell you how many times I got into a fire ant mound. And those things are relentless. Yeah. Well, I actually used to live in Pickerington, but I say Columbus because nobody knows where Pickerington is. I know where Groveport is, though. I've actually been there a time or two. Well, my mouse quit working. Oh, there it goes. Oh, sorry, Brad. I can't eat Skyline chili. And I know that's a sin coming from an Ohio boy, but I don't like Skyline chili. I think it's too sweet. I just don't like it. I like my chili, and I like Grandma's chili. You know, I like my blasphemer. I know. Being born and raised in Ohio and not liking Skyline chili is a sin. But I can't eat it. I don't like it. I'd much rather have homemade chili. I tried it. Don't get me wrong. We went there and I tried it, but I just don't like it. It's too sweet for me. I don't like it. Now, pretty soon I'll probably get kicked out of Ohio for saying that, but I can't help it. I can't help what I like. That's right. That boy ain't right. I can make chili. I do a lot wrong, but I can cook Southern food, of course. Listen, Suburban, there's really no wrong way to make chili unless you're Skyline chili, because they make it the wrong way. But um, and they also say real chili, doesn't have beans in it. But I put beans in mine. You know, mine is ground beef or deer, um, kidney beans, light red kidney beans, some tomato sauce, um, some tomato juice. I do a little bit of water. And the reason I put a little bit of water in it is to make it a little bit juicier, but it also knocks down the acidity of the tomatoes. So you don't have that big tomato punch right in your mouth whenever you take a bite. And I also add just a little bit of white sugar. And then I flavor it up with chili powder and cumin and oregano and different stuff like that. I don't know the exact recipe because I kind of just toss it in there. But it's a stew. You can't really mess it up. Just don't add too much sugar to it because sweet chili is nasty. You doing any fishing, Randy? Yeah, I've been doing some fishing here and there. Not as much as I'd like, but I have been doing some fishing, just little by little, catching, little things here and there. Tell the truth, Wayne. Have you ever harvested a deer? Yes, I have. I have harvested a deer. I have harvested that I've killed, but also I get some gave to me as well. I'll tell you a funny story about that. Is my boss went deer hunting, and he calls me up and asks me if I want it. I said, well, yeah, of course. So he brings it down, and this is in November during deer season, and it just happened to be one of the hottest Novembers we've had in a long time. So I was under the gun to get this deer clean. So I loaded it up in the back of my Ford Explorer, just kind of shoved it back in there, and drove it up to Grandma's house and asked her if I could use her tree in the backyard to hang the deer and to clean it. And of course she said yes. And so, like I said, 80 some years old, I've got the rope, but I don't have a pulley, so I'm trying to lift that deer. She grabs the rope and tells me to grab the deer. So I bear hug the deer and lift it up as she pulls the rope. Then we wrap it around the tree. So then I have I have a table laid out and have all my knives and I'm ready to roll. And I get started on the hide and I look back and there's Grandma standing there with two knives to help me because she said, you'll never get that done fast enough. It's too hot out here. So there was me and my grandma cleaning a deer in her backyard. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. That's a story I'm going to tell till I can't remember what my name is. Suburban, I'm going to give you a wrench too. If I can. Yeah, there it is. Although I think our troll may have left or he just went quiet. Yeah, Yankee, beans and chili. I don't know what the big deal about that is. And not only that, her and I cleaned the deer. We got it all, I took the hide off, and then as I was taking the meat off, I was passing it to her, and she was taking it inside to cool down. So then we go inside, and then we start really cleaning it up and trimming the meat and, getting the silver skin off and all that stuff. So we spent hours, her and I together, just, uh-oh. It looks like my stream is not so healthy anymore. Anyway, hours of bonding time with me and Grandma, and it was great. One of the memories I'll always keep with me. I don't know what's going on with my stream now all of a sudden, but it says on my streaming software everything's good, but it's saying video output low on YouTube. So Brad, I don't know if he or she was a troll or not. they were just in here making weird comments. So, it could have just, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. I don't care too much. I just don't like people coming in here using foul language and harassing other people and stuff like that. That's just a good way to get bounced. Suburban, yeah. she she definitely is very important in my life. She played a big part in raising me. Um, whenever I wasn't with mom, I was with grandma, and I mean, we would do, we would. She taught me so much. It's stuff that I can take with me and then pass down to further generations, and that's what I love about it. And anytime I get a chance to learn from her, I do, always. Even if I've been doing it a different way and it's been working for me, I always listen to how she does it, because she has been around a lot longer than me. She grew up during the Great Depression. She was born right in the middle of it in the 1930s. And, she lived in the back hills of Louisa, Kentucky, where you basically had a big family, a small house, and you had to grow your own food. You had to go out and get your own water. You had to do all this stuff to survive. And maybe one of these days I'll take you out with a video and show you. The house isn't there anymore, of course, but the holler is there where she grew up, and it's just a valley. Just goes back into the hills. There's hills all around. There's some great big rocks out there, and so yeah, you grow up living that lifestyle, and then of course the depression ends. Modern technology comes along and all this stuff, but she never forgot about that. She never forgot about how she was raised and how she lived, because she still teaches us that, and we can still carry that tradition on. And um, I really do appreciate her for that and love her for that, because you know that's stuff that you can't ever get rid of. It's up here. You can't ever get rid of it. It never goes away. Yankee, I use the light red kidney beans, but dark red's good too. And a secret that Grandma taught me is that when you put the beans in, I always put the beans in first, and then I take a potato smasher and I smash the beans up. And people think, oh, why are you doing that? That's crazy. I've never seen anyone ever do that. Grandma told me that you get more flavor out of the bean by smashing it up. And then you put the rest of the ingredients in. It makes sense to me. My shop is bigger than the house I was raised in. There was 9 people in that house, and you had to go outside to change your mind. See you later, Uncle Buck. Thanks for stopping by. Smashing the beans adds more flavor. See? That is, that's how I was taught. Grandma taught me how to make chili. She taught me how to make biscuits and gravy. The cat head biscuits and milk gravy. And I had some just the other day. Phenomenal. I love that. Yeah, and I don't smash them, until they're mush. I just smash them, I break them up a little bit. I smash them down. I take the potato smasher and stir them up, get them off the bottom, and I smash them down again, and then I stir them up, get them off the bottom, and then pour in the rest of my ingredients. I don't know about that, Brad. I don't know. I think it's pretty much equal. Oh, sorry about that, Yankee. I didn't know that. I'll just start calling you Yankee Brad. Oh man, I haven't had some fried taters in a long time. I'm gonna have to do that. And of course, cornbread. And Grandma taught me how to make cornbread too. Hey, BC, to each his own, if that's what you like. That's good, Terry, so I take it you're feeling better. So, I am thinking about trying to get Big Bear involved in another weight loss challenge. I've gained some weight back and I don't like it. And the last time we did it, it helped me because it gave me some accountability. So I'm thinking about it. I can't do anything yet because it's probably no big deal, but I'm having chest pains. And so I'm having to be put through testing right now. But I had to wear a heart monitor for 48 hours. And as soon as all that comes back good, which I'm sure it will, um, then I'm going to see if Jason wants to do that again. But this time, instead of like competing, kind of work together. I don't know. Me and him will talk about it. I need some accountability, and maybe the competition would be good because I really like beating Jason. Even though technically last time we tied, um, that won't happen this time. Yeah, that might be a good idea too, Terry. We'll do a multi-channel weight loss challenge. Yeah, I don't know. I was doing really good, Yankee, and then I just started getting fat. I don't know. Hey, fish on. No, I didn't even mess with the tiller yet. I haven't even taken it out of the building. Um, Glenn, trust me, my stomach's there and it works. because it talks to me every day saying, feed me, feed me. Lonely, I do. I use that cutting board all the time. Trust me. And that was one of the most perfect gifts, too, because I needed one, something fierce. You know, I don't know what the problem is. I was doing really, really well. And, you know, some people say, well, you stress eat. Well, I think it's more than that. I think that I don't have a switch in my brain that tells me when I'm full. So it's almost like I have a food addiction, and I eat and eat and eat and eat until I get sick. So I just need to train my brain and, you know, work on not eating so much, moderation. I was doing really well, and I just think that with um, I think with having some accountability and having other channels doing it, I think we can have fun with it and also help make ourselves healthier in the process. Glenn, yes, I do. I do have acid reflux, but I'm on medicine for it. And when I have been having the chest pains, I haven't been feeling the acid reflux. The doctor said he didn't think that's what it was because of the way that it radiates. It'll radiate into my arm and it'll radiate up into my jaw. And he doesn't necessarily think it's a heart attack, but he also doesn't think that it's the acid reflux. Possible stress, we don't know. He said he can't rule out a heart attack, so that's why he's going through testing. But he doesn't think that that's what it is. He basically told me if he did, I would already have been in the hospital. But he did put me on a heart monitor for 48 hours. I haven't heard back from that yet. I'm waiting to hear back from that, and then we'll go from there. But like I said, I'm sure everything's fine. I doubt very seriously that I'm having a heart attack. I mean, I know it's possible, but it comes and goes. It doesn't hit me and stay. It fluctuates. And so I don't know. And I don't look it up online, because if I looked it up online, I'd end up with cancer and heart disease. And I just, nothing good can come from looking up symptoms online. Too much LP vapor, maybe, I don't know. I have breathed in a lot of it over the years. That's what I thought too, Terry. But I don't know. He did an EKG, did a heart monitor. I thought there was stuff you could tell in your blood whether or not you had a heart attack. He told me the EKG would show past heart attacks and show past damage, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I sell propane for a living, so I've got to go with what he says, but like I said, I'm sure it's nothing. I mean, I'm sure well, at least I hope, if it was something major, he would be a little bit more, aggressive about it. So I'm not thinking that it's anything. He did mention a possible heart cath if the heart monitor results came back, bad. But yeah, see, Terry, I don't know all that. I don't know. I don't know any of that. So I'm just going with what he's telling me for right now. But like I said, I'm sure it's fine. But as soon as all that's taken care of and I get an actual diagnosis, then I'm going to start my weight loss challenge. And you know, because let's just say, let's just play devil's advocate here, and I am having small heart attacks, and I'm out exercising. You know, I'm pretty sure that raises your heart rate, which could potentially stop your heart. Right? I mean, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure that, that kind of coordinates or correlates or whatever you want to call it. Yankee, I'd like to be, if I could get to 200 pounds, I'd be happy. Get there and stay there. Yeah, maybe it is a pulled muscle. I don't know, but it's been going on for quite a while. I would have thought the pulled muscle would have healed by now, but it's always right in here, underneath right here, and it radiates. It shoots down my arm, and sometimes this arm gets numb, and then sometimes it shoots up into my jaw and in behind my ear, right in here, and just it hurts pretty bad. So I don't know. We'll find out sooner or later, I'm sure. I don't know if that's for me, Yankee, or not, but I'm 6 foot tall. 6 foot even. Maybe that's all it is, Lonely. Maybe it's just a bad shoulder or a pulled muscle or something like that. Well, let's see. We got about 5 minutes until I'm going to bounce off of here. So, anything you guys want to ask me or talk about in the next 5 minutes, let me know. So, Costco, in the ribs, look up Costco chondrites. I thought I had a busted rib and had a heart attack. So that's Costu, Costo, Costu, chondrites, chondrites. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. I'm a hillbilly. We don't talk so good. We don't read so good neither. Okay, so the stream just dropped, and I don't know why. Everything went a little haywire, but now everything seems to be working again. So, I don't know. Everything just disconnected all of a sudden, and then... But now it says everything's good. So, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's time. I guess that is the universe telling me. Okay, I'll open that. I opened that in a new tab, Suburban. I'll check that out. Well, I didn't mean to do that right now, but I'll do that, Terry. But I got to wait till all my tests come back first. I want to just make sure the ticker's still gonna tick, and then we'll go on from there. All right. Well, I am heading out of here. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share, and don't forget to check out Wayne's Country Living Facebook page. The link is down below, or you can go to Facebook and just search Wayne's Country Living, because I'm going to post a bunch of updates and stuff there. I'm also going to make a video on the Facebook page specifically just for that page, so that I can build that up and get people to follow me there. That way I can post updates and different stuff like that. So if you're on the Facebook page, why don't you go ahead and give that a share with people that you know are interested in the country living, homestead living lifestyle, and hopefully we can get and build this up a little bit. So all right, well, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.